Yeah, or should I show you a little more? Okay, great. Hey, Ken and Sylvia, you're probably wondering why your machine's leaving all this dirt behind, why it's leaving all that baking soda behind. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a couple quick reasons why even if your vacuum were brand new out of the box, it's not going to get the dirt up the way the Kirby does because it's got nothing to do with age. It's all based on one word, and that word is design. And what I'm going to do, Ken and Sylvia, is I'm putting the bag, I have a disposable bag in here already, but I'm going to attach the bag on the Kirby so it's working at full power the same way it'll work when it's in your home tomorrow morning. Believe it or not, Ken and Sylvia, we actually lose suction by using this little test meter. And the reason we do is very simple. All suction is air. The more air you move, the more suction you create. Pretty simple, right? We can move a lot more air around in this bag than we can in this little tiny dust meter. So the first thing we all want our vacuums to have, Ken and Sylvia, is a lot of suction. Because if they have a lot of suction, then we know they have the power to get the dirt from the bottom of our carpet. And what we're going to do is we're going to set, this is a piece of plastic, I'm just going to set this flat on top of here, and what I'd like you to do, Sylvia, is lift straight up with 2 fingers, and you'll feel the amount of suction your vacuum has. Now be careful, because it'll spit out little stones and stuff. But are you ready? Ken and Sylvia, that's the amount of power you have right there where you're cleaning your rugs with the Dyson. Let's do the exact same thing with the Kirby. Turn the Kirby upside down. And I'm going to set this flat on there. And Sylvia, what I'd like you to do again is just lift straight up with 2 fingers. You'll feel the amount of suction the Kirby has. Are you ready?
Yes.
Right out of your hands? Now let me ask you a crazy question. That's the amount of suction you have right there when you're cleaning rugs with the Kirby. That was the amount of suction you have when you're cleaning rugs with the Dyson. Ken and Sylvia, knowing just the difference of power alone. If you came down tomorrow morning to vacuum Sylvia, open up the closet, and the Kirby was side by side with yours, which one would you use?
Kirby.
Why?
It picks up more.
Yeah, if it's got that much more suction, it's going to pick up that much more dirt, yes?
Yes.
Now folks, let me show you why the Kirby has so much more suction. Because here's the way the suction travels on your machine. Down here is the motor. Then the suction's going to travel through this container. Then it's going to come out through here. And then it's going to come down through here, out and around, through this little tube. And then finally, Ken, if you take a look, you see that little hole right there? So you see that little hole?
Yes.
That's where your suction comes out. Now here, let me ask you a question. Knowing the hole is here, way off to the side, when you vacuum with this, where do you think you do the most effective cleaning?
That's right.
Yeah, right there where the hole is. Now you want to know something crazy? Look over, here's where your belt is. Now, let's suppose if there's brushes over here, Ken, what else would you assume was there?
Home.
Suction, right? Because brushes without suction could only do what?
Okay.
Rub the dirt farther down into your rug. Not the reason you bought a vacuum, right?
No.
Ken, if the air makes it here and somehow makes a right angle turn, if it makes it all the way to this belt, do you see any way it could even get over there and do any vacuuming at all? No, it's crazy. See, folks, what you might as well do is vacuum with an opening that's this big. Because that's the only area on this entire nozzle where you have the power you need to get the heavy dirt out of the bottom of your carpet. Makes sense, right? Now the Kirby, how is the Kirby different? The motor on the Kirby that creates our suction is here. So the first thing is, with yours, that suction is traveling what? 6-8 feet by the time it travels through all those tubes, isn't it? With the Kirby, the suction is traveling only a few inches. If both motors were identical, just by design alone, which one do you think would pick up more dirt? The Kirby. Now, the Kirby has a bell-shaped head, which forces the air from end to end, which allows it to clean all the way across. To give you an idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to turn the brushes off, so it's working on straight suction. And I'm just going to put one pad here, one pad here, and one pad here. Ken and Sylvia, let me ask you a crazy question. Which way would you rather clean your house? Would you rather clean it with this much space at a time or this much space at a time?
That was it.
Obviously. Folks, are you ready to get one yet? Or should I show you a little more? Man, you drive a hard bargain, sir. Just keep in mind, because of my contest, I'm doing special things. Fair enough? How do you like it so far?
Great.
It's amazing, isn't it? But there's one more reason why the Kirby gets the dirt out and why your machine is leaving it behind. We already know the motor is here. The suction travels through this container, yes? So Sylvia, let me ask you a question. If I hold one of these pads over my face, can I breathe? Yes. As I add more and more pads though, what's going to happen, Ken? It's going to get harder and harder for me to breathe till finally I turn blue and you get me out of your home tonight. Just kidding. But the same thing happens when you vacuum. When you empty the container and you change and put a brand new filter in there, it's like holding one pad over its face. As soon as you have a little bit of dirt in this container, Ken, it's like a whole stack of these pads. If it's harder for your vacuum to breathe, what are you losing?
Suction.
Suction. So the only way to clean at full power all the time with this machine would be to empty the container and change that filter when? After every vacuuming. Nobody in their right mind. Cost you a fortune in filters, wouldn't it? Now folks, the Kirby is different because the suction never travels through a dirty container. With the Kirby is different. The suction, or the motor that creates your suction, never has anything in front of it, and it blows the dirt behind the motor. Up this tube, down into the bag, making this the last thing in line. Folks, let me ask you a crazy question. If there was some crazy way, Ken, I could make a Kirby 100% affordable, is this something you'd like to have for you and your family? Okay, great. Keep in mind, because of my contest, we'll definitely make it worth your while. Fair enough?